Hey everyone, Rocky here. Just keeping a real dog. I've been gone for some time, traveling to exotic places, expanding my social circle, and attending to my artistic tendencies. Def Jam FFNY is a wrestling game set in the mystical world of New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. This game is brutal, with a great story and featuring a staggering roster of 67 playable characters, with over half of the roster being real musicians from the label.
I need y'all to be clear real quick. I'm gonna have a good time busting y'all face in and breaking your back and snapping your chest open, throwing you across the Hudson River.
Various venues to battle, including a Triad's Dragon House, gentlemen clubs, bars, as well as burning buildings. With many game modes to play in, the replayability value comes in very high. And since it's coming up to its 20th anniversary and was the last of the series, and I do mean the last of the series, I wanted to get back into the gritty underworld, brawling with the Def Jam goats. How was this cult classic realized? And how does it hold up after 2 decades? How did I get the concept of mixing rap with wrestling? The franchise wasn't originally going to be set in an underground fight club. It was in fact going to be another regular wrestling game under the WCW label, the Aki Corporation, who are now known as Sin Sophia, with the long-running titles of fashion-based games. They were once the titans of this genre, back in the 90s with great titles under their belt, including WCW NWO World Tour and WWF No Mercy. They were on course to develop WCW Mayhem 2 for the PlayStation 2.
Big Sexy's in the house.
But the Monday Night's War between WWF and WCW.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you!
It was a fight for the TV ratings, and at the end, Vince McMahon, with all his degenerate deviancy, came out on top. He bought WCW and became the second go-to source for watching large, muscular men rub up against one another, until brought to modern day, where fans are now spoiled for choice. Anyway, now that World Championship Wrestling was no more, EA, the company that would bring forward the beloved surprise mechanics to many homes in the future.
Do you consider loot boxes to be an ethical feature?
But we look at it as
Surprise mechanics.
Are left with a half-completed project with no license attached. This is where Kevin Liles comes into play. Not only was he the CEO of a massive music label, but he was like one of us, a gamer.
He thought to himself, why don't we make a game? So he contacted EA. Liles found himself in discussion with EA producer Josh Holmes, leading to Def Jam Vendetta, a wrestling game with 11 of your favorite rappers, including Method Man, Redman, and DMX. Combined with the crazy out-of-this-world finishers, this became a huge hit in 2003. Vendetta proved to be an enormous triumph, selling nearly 2 million copies. This resounding victory prompted EA to embark on creating a sequel that would surpass all expectations. The controls have been expanded from the predecessor, adapting more to a control scheme you would find familiar to other fighters during the time like Tekken, Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat. You can feel the power and impact as you unleash a combo of punches, kicks, and grapples as you seek to destroy the opposition. Holding down the modifier will let you perform an even more devastating version of that back-breaking slam and a charged up power punch. The different amount of weapons you can pick up is great, using pill cues, bottles to break over their heads. And don't think it's just your opponent you need to keep an eye on. The crowd is bloodthirsty and will take any opportunity to either team up with you or hurt you, so be wary when fighting close to the edge. On the screen, your health meter consists of 2 bars. The vibrant green is your character's consciousness. If it depletes to a certain point, it will turn red, indicating that you're in danger of being knocked out with either a finisher, strong attack, blind kick, weapon, or even from a joint grapple from a member of the crowd. Underneath that bright green is a translucent bar representing your fighter's overall wellness. If you haven't been hit, your consciousness gradually replenishes to its maximum. Now underneath, you can see that orange bar. This is your momentum. You'd want to fill that with a mixture of attacks, taunts, blocks, and counters, so you can trigger your blazing state. Triggering this will then allow you to unleash a bone-crushing finish. And this is what hooks people in. They are insane. Every character has their own jaw-dropping finishing move. You could end up breakdancing all over them, folding them up, snapping their bones, busting their balls, or even straight up murder. You may want to make use of your surroundings, as with each arena, its environments can become very useful very quickly. Venues like bars and rooftops, you can smash your foe up against a pool table or direct their skull straight to the jukebox. There are also some special stages which include a possible arena knockout. Every fighter has their own sets of stats that makes them useful for any playstyle, whether you're more of a grappler, wearing down your opponent's limbs, or maybe you like to flood them with quick strikes and flying kicks. Upper strength affects your punching power and the strength of your grapples. Lower strength is how strong and effective your kicks are. Speed is how fast you can move around the arena and how quick your attacks can be. Toughness is how fast your health can recover over time after taking damage. Health is very straightforward. The more you have it, the bigger your life bar is. And last on the list is the fighter's charisma. The more riz they got, the quicker you can gain your momentum. You may have noticed the styles displaying underneath. Street fighter, martial arts, kickboxing. These are the fighting styles each character may possess, giving you an idea on how to play and what advantages you may have over your opponent. Sit up straight and pay attention, as a Def Jam class is in session. That rhymed pretty cool. There are 5 different styles fighters can have, all of which have their own unique techniques. Some may have a mixture to allow them to have multiple ways to win. Street fighter. This has devastating upper body attacks. You can cause major damage, and with one heavy punch, you will leave them on the floor. Playing these types of fighters like Capone, Fat Joe, and Omar Epps can give you such a quick and easy way to win. Once you get them down to that danger zone, just one strong punch and it's over. Martial arts is for the agile fighter, unleashing combos that disorientate, and with a flying attack can finish it. Sean Paul, Crazy Legs, and Snoop Dogg are great users in this playstyle, and it's always so satisfying when running up the wall and jumping off just to annihilate them with either a flying kick or a headbutt. Wrestling, the OG fighting style, coming straight from Vendetta. With a mixture of strong grapples, you can really start to take massive chunks off their health bar. If you're in that red and unfortunate to get grabbed, they will punish you for your mistake. D-Mob, Method Man, and Bone Crusher are great wrestlers. Throwing them around like a ragdoll is just crazy and makes you cringe like, ooh, that looks like that hurts. Submissions are for those who want to take time and wear down their opponents by slowly but surely twisting their limbs until their bone snaps. I think this fighting style is very underrated. When you start to submit them, they have their own unique health bar for their legs, heads, and arms, which can catch up on the opponent if they're not too careful. Ice-T, Prodigy, Busta Rhymes, breaking their legs, snapping their necks, and twisting their arms for victory. Kickboxing. Kickboxers have strong kicks and can unleash combos by grabbing their opponent and constantly connecting with their knees and punches. Ludacris, Elephant Man, and Freeway can unleash a frenzy of attacks. 1 second you're fit and healthy, the next you're on the verge of defeat. In this game, you don't have to stick to one discipline. Add a mixture of styles and give yourself that advantage of being able to gracefully fly kick or brutally crush your enemies with a painful body slam. Now that we have a basic understanding of how to fight, let's go over the multiple match types you can take part in, including one-on-one, three-way, four-way, and a tag match. There's also an inclusion of special matches you can battle it out in. These help keep the game fresh and will have you playing for hours. You can trick it out in a cage match, make your opponent extra crispy in the Inferno match, or even throw them in front of a train match. Some of these stages do include their own stage finishes, much like Mortal Kombat stage fatalities.
Kano wins.
One of my favorite things in this game is the smack talk at the beginning of each match.
You gonna be crying like a bitch after I get my hands on you, boy.
This time, I'm gonna rip your face off.
I'm gonna take your tongue out and lick my ass with.
After one comes out victorious, they have a few lines for their opponents currently bleeding out on the floor.
You punks are all the same. No skill.
Is there anyone in the building that can actually fight?
Who turned the lights off? Somebody ain't pay the electric bill or some shit? Circuit breaker tripped out or something? Oh, that was me. Pardon me. My bad.
At the end of each fight, there's a breakdown of your abundance of points, including reasons why you gained them or how points were deducted. You also find, after the fight, you earn points, which can be used for the in-game shop. Here you can spend your earnings and unlock more characters and venues for your game. I would recommend holding off on making any kind of purchases until you've beaten the story, as majority of these characters and venues can be unlocked by progressing through the game. One major element applied to Fight for New York was the story mode. mode. The plot is quite straightforward, yet manages to captivate. It kicks off right after the conclusion of the previous game's story mode, where D-Mob is apprehended following his defeat by the main character. While he's being transported in a police car, you intervene by T-boning the vehicle and rescuing him. Jarvis, the police officer, briefly sees the perpetrator before losing consciousness. This then cuts to a scene with him working with a sketch artist to produce a composite sketch of your character. We can now customize our character's height, build, and appearance by selecting from a wide range of facial features. It's a huge step up from Vendetta, going further from just allowing you to pick one of 4 potential protagonists of the story.
And that's not just it. We get to pick a voice for our underground street brawler. We then find Method Man as Blaze and Sticky Fingers playing as himself. I don't know why his fingers are sticky, but I'm too scared to find out.
Playing video games while Redman as Doc sleeps on the sofa. We then enter with D-Mob and are met with suspicion and must prove we can carry our own weight in the team.
He's got to be able to carry his own weight. Can you fight? We gonna see about that.
We then pick our style and are led to a quick tutorial. After we've demolished house, we are given some funds to change our look since our current style isn't up to scratch with the crew.
Go buy yourself some new gear. If you're gonna run with this crew, you better look the part. Think you can handle that?
So anyway, this is our map, and it's how we pick our upcoming fights with different characters. We go across all the corners of the city going up against different combatants in bars, clubs, and power plants. Each fight we partake in is scored by the actions we've proceeded with during the fight, and with its total is then converted to how much money we win. $. With our brand new capital, we have the freedom to spend as we please at 4 different stores. Stingray's Barbers, we can get that sick fade. Manny,
We can get some sick tats.
or we can also get our new threads from Snowman, and our final store, Jacobs & Co, from our very own Jacob Arabo, making us look even more $.
I'm afraid we do not accept food stamps.
Not only just that, after shopping at these places, they like to leave messages every so often to inform us of the goings on in life.
Yo, it's Snowman. Yo, man, I just got shit. You gotta come check it out.
Speaking about messages, everyone somehow has your number and continuously leave voicemail in your T-Mobile sidekick.
I'ma take your tongue out and lick my ass with it.
Anyway, after caving a few heads in, we gain some development points, allowing us to carve a warrior into perfection. And who better to train us than Henry Rollins?
You ever get the feeling that LA is dead?
Not deader than any other place.
That's
Not
true.
deader than some people's minds. Okay, boy, wrap it up. I'm cold, I'm wet, and I'm busy selling out, so I gotta get backstage to my women and my cocaine, so what else do you want to know?
So hitting the Rollins gym, we get to add these points to increase our health, toughness, speed, and attack powers. If we have enough points, we are then able to learn up to 2 more fighting styles, allowing us to have a more diverse moveset and more options to hit that knockout. We also get to purchase blazing moves here, unlocked from beating different fighters on our journey, allowing us to have more than one finisher to use triggered by the right analog stick. It brings some variety into our fights because it does get a bit old after seeing the same finisher over and over and over again. As you progress through the story, you'll prove your worth more to D-Mob. We see whose clubs we've been taking, strutting in like the pimp he is. Crow, played by Snoop Dogg, previously known as Snoop Lion, and before that Snoop Dogg, comes by to hurt our feelings.
That police composite don't do justice to your ugly face.
And once winning in the limit bar, women want you somehow. You get to pick one of 4, of which includes Cindy J, Kimura, Shauna, and Little Kim.
So who you gonna take home, huh?
I is man pick Little Kim. But alert! A wild beta cuck appears. Main man must prove he is alpha, unlike the laws of nature. We prove that, as they do in the animal kingdom. A poke you to the brain. After showing Beta who is the real alpha, I get Kim. We then continue to be the best, and as we continue to do so, the Sticky Fingers starts to lose his place within the crew. Respect has bestowed upon this new, stronger unit, and he is being left in the shadows, fingers unsticky. We then arrive at Club Murder with our entourage of warriors, passing through a dingy hallway. We're then let in to a welcoming of a ruthless crowd, begging for blood and the cage in the epicenter of the arena. We accomplish what Blaze could not, bringing a brutal end to Crack. During a celebratory ride in the limo with our pals, we are presented with the highest honor anyone could have earned in the team.
This is to show you how much I appreciate what you've done for us. Now, you're family.
Cutting the celebration short arrives Machete, spraying bullets into a luxurious vehicle. After crashing, they make a run for it, and we give cheers. Sadly, we missed the train. But who do we have here, mimicking his sticky fingers as a gun? And what's this? Machete stayed behind to finish the job, but he's out of bullets. A silly mistake. A brawl begins and ends with Machete slightly roughed up. D-Mob sadly gets left behind, and from that point on, Blaze and I vowed to take every one of Crow's clubs, leading us to leave an onslaught of carnage in our wake. We brutally take out each of Crow's soldiers and have made great progress across New York, taking it club by club. And after taking many of his clubs, we're then bushwhacked by Magic, Sticky, and Crow. At this point, we learn two things. Crow kidnapped Kim, and that he's colorblind.
You don't recognize your girl's hair when you see it?
With fear in our hearts of what may happen to Kim, we are forced to switch sides, reluctantly winning back the clubs we had previously won. And after doing so, our final fight is with Doc, who politely explains his intentions for the upcoming bout.
I'ma cut your eyes out and put them on my knees and call you Lisi.
Just before entering the ring, Belias stops us, tries to convince us not to go ahead with the fight, knowing we cannot be talked out of it. Belias sees we are no longer bros, and takes my pretty necklace. It was a close battle, but Doc's martial arts cannot overpower my ruthlessness, my determination, my style. Angrily, we approach Crow and demand where Kim is. He tells us we have one more job to do before honoring the deal. Being escorted by Crack and WC, we find Magic playing baseball with Belias. Magic as the batter, Belias as the ball. They tell me to finish the job, but Belias is my bro. And after battling an internal conflict, thinking about our history, we swing at WC, teaming up with Belias and destroying both Magic and Crack. We interrogate Magic, demanding where Kim is being held. And after doing so, he tells us where she is. We arrive at a warehouse, finding Kim tied up and our arch rival, Sticky Fingers, prepping to burn down this building and demands for one epic battle in the Ring of Fire.
Now it's just you and me!
Finally, we defeated Sticky Fingers and saved Kim. That's what we thought. As Kim lies motionless, we were too late. Filled with a mixture of grief and anger, there was only one thing to do. Crow and his posse leave to celebrate their victory, but we have other plans. After a slight confrontation, our fellow fighters join us, ready to take on Crow and his legion of fucks. Crack and WC joins our side, which I'm still a little bit confused about. I may have missed some character development with Crack throughout the story, but with WC I did just knock him in the head with a bat only about 5 minutes ago. But I'm not going to turn down free help. As a clash of titans is about to break out, we sneak away from the upcoming fight to find Crow alone in his office. An opportune time to deal with him. But again, for the third time in this story, we are caught off guard with a gun pressed up against our head. But it seems everyone has chosen this point of events for a little bit of soul searching. And very wisely, Crow decides to agitate him.
Hey man, what you waiting on? Shoot this fool! Now!
Hey yo, you know what? Fuck this shit.
He hands us the gun and leave us alone with Crow. Amazingly, we missed, but we play it off as we meant to do that.
I need you.
But like the coward he is, he punctures our shoulder with his hidden knife, and we narrowly roll out of the way from a fatal blow. A final battle commences with such ferocity from both combatants, a contest to take control of the city. We get the upper hand and finally put an end to Crow's terror.
Came in this fucking room and everything went fucking bad. Fuck this shit, man.
Admiring our victory, Belias enters and hands us back our pretty necklace, and we look over what we have accomplished. Vengeance gained, respect earned, and the city under our control. So just to conclude it, the story's narrative is simple, fun, and engaging. And even after finishing the main story, there are extra fights you can take part in to earn more development points and cash for your character. Fight for New York is a classic. It's one of those games that helped define a generation, and if not, one of the best wrestling games ever made. Even with it going on after 20 years, there's still a strong community out there with love for the franchise. If you see this game in your local retro game shop, pick it up. It's a fantastic fighter, and thank you for watching and sticking to the end. If you like this video, why not check out the other vid right here, and keep an eye out for more content in the future. Again, thank you for watching, keep it real.